Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about some 8th Doctor and some Big Finish, and we're going to talk about Doom Coalition 3, Part 3, which is called the Doomsday Chronometer, and which of course you can see the box set right back here. I've got my Doomsday stuff right here on the shelf. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to Robert. I really appreciate Robert sending these sets. Robert has sent me Doom Coalition 1, 2, and 3, and I do believe 4 is coming. He also sent the Bernice Summerfield set, and I believe he sent the Paradox Planet as well, which is a really enjoyable 4th Doctor story I very much liked, very in the vein of Season 17. So, I've been going through Doom Coalition 3, and I really enjoyed the first part, Absent Friends. I didn't really care for the second part, the 8th piece, and I was a little concerned because I know this part kind of acts as a part 2 to the 8th piece, but this one is a lot better. The mixing was better. Now, whether that's because I was listening to it on a different television and a different player, honestly, because I've got my newer television in the living room with my Xbox hooked up there, and I've got my old television in the bedroom with my region-free Blu-ray player there, and I was listening to it on that, and the audio was much better. Whether it was mixed better, whether just my setup for listening to it was better. I didn't have any problems really understanding what was going on for the most part. There was a couple times I wish I had a visual reference, but for the most part, I was able to follow along pretty well. And the story was fine. It wasn't bad. You know, it's not in the upper tiers of Doctor Who, but it was fine. It was enjoyable. The Doctor meeting this kind of robotic woman who's like a machine, like a puzzle, and finding out she's like the ruler of her people, and that the clock master or clocksmith or whatever he's called had manipulated her and gained control over her people, and she was getting control of them back. And more learning about trying to assemble this Doomsday machine and what it does and trying to prevent it, and learning that the clocksmith is a Time Lord, learning that Brother Octavius, I think is his name, is a Time Lord, the one that keeps hearing voices and all in his head. I had a really easy time following who was who, because a lot of times, while, again, the women sound a lot similar to me, they use names a lot. Like, they would say Miss Sinclair, Helen, Liv, Sister Malone was what River song was going by. So since they were using names a lot, I was able to follow along easier, and this was a really good idea. I wish they did that more in Big Finish, where they're saying names to where you're able to go, okay, got it. And the performances were all fine. The story progressing was fine, but all I can really say is fine. It's not something I would go back and listen to again anytime soon, whereas there are some of the Doom Coalitions I would, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I took like one break in between listening to it, but really only had to take one. I think I made it all the way to like track 9 out of 16 before I even took that break, and it was a longer break. But then when I came back, I pretty much finished it in that next sitting. I think I might have paused it a couple times for like 2 or 3 minutes to get something to drink or something, or use the restroom. But it wasn't like the 8th piece or Minute in Hell, where I struggled with those. I struggled with those bad. My review for Minute in Hell had to, that one had to be, that had to be a Patreon exclusive because of the language involved in that video. Good Lord. That's one of the worst Doctor Who stories ever made. This was much more enjoyable. A good palate cleanser. Again, nothing there to really write home about. Like, I knew I'm sitting there, how am I going to do that review? It's basically going to amount to me just going, okay. I don't even think I'd call it a C tier story. Maybe D tier. Not bad, but certainly below average. Performances were fine. I didn't really make much note of incidental music. I didn't really care for the ending. I won't spoil it. But one character turned out to be exactly who I thought they were, although I like how it kind of delved into their past. And then it had the very ending with someone regenerating and companions thinking it might be the Doctor when it's not, has a very Maldron undead feel to it. And which, to me, gives it a been there, done that feel to it. It's like, haven't I seen this done better? Which was a little off-putting. The 8th Doctor and River, of course the 8th Doctor not knowing who River is, them kind of going off together to save the universe or whatever. It's fine. That part's fine. I always struggle with Big Finish stories that put in River Song meeting classic doctors, because it always feels shoehorned. Because Silence in the Library very definitively establishes, even though it doesn't specifically do it in dialogue, it does it with the way the scenes are done, that this is the earliest version of the Doctor she's encountered with that version of 10. The way she mentions that line, "I've never seen your eyes so young," and that bit when he goes, "Who are you?" and she's so shocked and all of the emotions she's going through, and she's, "Oh!" You know, that really communicates to me that this is the youngest she's ever seen the Doctor. And since she dies in this story, there's no way you could say, well, the events of Big Finish happen afterwards. That doesn't make sense either. So it doesn't work, especially since the Doctor doesn't know her before that. You have to do all of these mental gymnastics and writing gymnastics to have her interacting with the earlier incarnations of the Doctor, but with the Doctor not able to remember them or not know it's her. You have to write around that big block of the Doctor's earliest memory of knowing her. And the first instance of him knowing her for her is Silence in the Library. You have to work around that. And it's just annoying from a narrative standpoint in these Big Finish stories when they're having to really stretch things to get that to work. And then again, also the fact that it's very clear in Silence in the Library that that's the youngest she's ever seen the Doctor as well. "I've never seen your eyes look so young." Or she has such a fit about, you know, it's like when you see an image of someone, but when they're younger and they haven't quite become who they are yet. She's not used to dealing with this Doctor who's not her Doctor yet. So it doesn't make sense for her to be running around seeing all of these even earlier incarnations. So the problem with the River is she always feels shoehorned in. It always feels like Big Finish just had the idea of, what if River met classic Doctors, and just ran with it. Just ran with it. Despite the fact it makes no narrative sense whatsoever. They're like, cha-ching! And so it always feels forced. It always comes across as just fan fiction to me. And that's something very seldom I can look past. So I tend, as soon as I know River's going to show up with a classic Doctor, part of my mind is already checking out because I can't take it seriously because it doesn't even strike me as canon. It's just cha-ching! Fan fiction. That's how it comes across to me. Nothing against Alex's performance. Alex is great in this. Alex is always good as River. Nothing against, of course, McGann. He's always great. The actors are fine. The actors are fine. They bring their A game. Just from a narrative standpoint, I always have problems with that. So this story was okay. I wouldn't even put it at average, but it wasn't bad. It was interesting enough. I was able to lock in and focus on it, and found it enjoyable. Not something I'll listen to again for a while. There are plenty of other Doomsday Coalition stories I'd rather go to. Season 3 has probably been my least favorite of the three box sets thus far, though I still need to listen to part 4. Something or another about the Crucible, I think. But, yeah, it's fine. It's the most I can say about it. It's fine. So, the Doomsday Chronometer. What do you think of it? Have you listened to it? What do you think of the Doom Coalition series? What do you think of Doom Coalition 3? Comment down below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me on that. There's a link to that down in the description. Check that out. Several different tiers there to choose from. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons: Colin Coney, Unknown289, Finn Perkins, and Androzani Major. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It does make a difference, and it's very much appreciated. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. Link to the Amazon wish list is down there. Link to the Amazon UK wish list is down there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.